Hello and welcome to Gunners Daily YouTube channel, where I'm covering all the latest Arsenal news and everything that is happening around the club. We have some new updates on the Victor Osimhen transfer situation, his contract with Napoli, Arsenal's interest in signing the player. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Okay, let's get into it. So, according to the Rai Sport and the Italian football, because I've seen both of them reporting and covering this story, Arsenal have made contact with Victor Osimhen's agent, Roberto Calenda. Yes, you heard that right. Arsenal Football Club reportedly made contact with Osimhen's agent in an attempt to investigate whether there is a chance of bringing the Nigerian to the Emirates. So let's read out what they actually said in the article. Victor Osimhen has now agreed a deal in principle to extend his contract with Napoli. The Nigerian will have a release clause which is worth between 130 and 140 million euros. So that means around 120 million pounds. Last month, Osimhen was a guest on John Obi Mikel's podcast, and while he was not directly asked about joining Chelsea or Arsenal, the Napoli striker made it clear that he would only move to another European club after he turned down an offer to sign for Saudi Pro League side Al Hilal in the summer. Asked if he wants to continue playing in Europe, Osimhen said, "Of course, what was said was true. I had talks. In August that week was a huge one. A huge decision for me to take. But I actually put it in God's hands. But the more I said no to these people in Saudi Arabia, the more they increased it and increased it. It was literally like, wow, seeing these things. I spoke with the people in charge, and we spoke about it with my club, and we saw what we could do. We decided, me and them, and I told them, I like these people, I want to stay. I don't think I want to leave for now. They understand where I'm coming from, but they never gave up until their own transfer window closed." I've also read some articles about how Chelsea and Manchester United, of course, want to sign Victor Osimhen next summer, but let's be realistic. What is a better project right now to be a part of? Arsenal, Chelsea, or Manchester United? I mean, I'm just being realistic. So, what I could take from this interview is that Osimhen is obviously interested in staying in Europe and continue playing competitive football on the highest level. And I wouldn't be surprised if he had an agreement with Napoli's president, Aurelio De Laurentiis, that he won't leave the club last summer. He's not interested in going to Saudi, but when the next offer comes from some big European club, that he will take it into consideration. At least that's what I think. I think there was some mutual agreement between them. Bear in mind, until now, he didn't even have the release clause in his original contract. And according to reports, in his new contract that he reportedly signed with the club, Napoli put 120 million pounds release clause. So all that is saying to me that Osimhen and Napoli made an agreement in sense like, look, I won't leave now for Saudi. I want to stay in Europe and sign for some other big club next summer. We won the Serie A title. We achieved the unthinkable. Let's make the agreement. You put whatever release clause you want, but if a club comes and offers you that money, I'm free to leave without any problems. At least that's how this whole situation looks to me. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to understand that Victor Osimhen is definitely going to leave Napoli. If not this winter, then in the summer. He's definitely leaving. No offense to Napoli, but I don't think they could match the offers and salary that come from some other European clubs, that some other European clubs can offer, especially some Premier League clubs. You know what? If we manage to sign Osimhen, I think it will be a final piece of the puzzle for us. Attack, sorted. Defense, sorted. Midfield, well, not really. We still definitely need to sign some other top quality midfielder to put him alongside Declan Rice. I would even argue that the midfielder is more important than a striker currently for us. But striker is also important if you look at our situation. But look, we've come so far already. We only need 2 or 3 good big signings, and I honestly think that this Mikel Arteta super team can win it all. We already made a statement signing when we bought Declan Rice, and if we somehow manage to add Victor Osimhen to the mix, we are cooking. I've already talked about this, our current situation regarding striker options and how it is very, very thin. I love Gabriel Jesus, but since he joined Arsenal, when we needed him the most, he was constantly out injured. It's not his fault. He's just an injury-prone player. And I've also talked about that this season because we are only in, mid-December, and he already missed 11 games for us so far this season. And if he gets injured again in a month or two, then Eddie Nketiah is effectively our only remaining striker. And I love Eddie. I still think he's a great second backup option to have, but if we're serious about competing for anything this year, we must not allow ourselves to get into those situations, to rely on Gabriel Jesus to stay healthy. And then when he inevitably gets injured again in February or March and is ruled out for the rest of the season, we are left with Eddie Nketiah as our only option in attack when we will be fighting for the Premier League title, Champions League, and probably the FA Cup. It's just stupidity, and I think both Arteta and Edu know it. And that's why there's been so much talk lately about Arsenal wanting to sign a striker this January. Look, I don't think Victor Osimhen will be a realistic signing in January. And I doubt it that Napoli would even let him go during the winter transfer window, even if someone offers them that amount of money. They're struggling in the league, they are fighting for top 4, they are in the round of 16 in the Champions League. I just don't think it makes sense for them to let their star player leave in January. They probably agree that it's best to wait and then explore all the options next summer. But like I said, we still need to sign someone, and it needs to happen this January. We urgently need to sign one more striker and a midfielder. Because let's not lie to ourselves, we are always talking about how our depth is great and we have a much better squad all around than we used to have these last few years. And that is true, but to some extent. Currently, with all the injuries we have and everything, we are two potential injuries away from falling apart and from calling this season a disaster. God forbid if, let's say, Gabriel Jesus and Declan Rice. Yes, okay. If Gabriel Jesus and Declan Rice get injured at the same time, we are done. We are simply done. You can cover Jesus with Eddie Nketiah to some extent and hope for the best. But Declan Rice, who will replace him? Mohamed Elneny, who is also out injured. Thomas Partey, who has also been out injured for the last 600 years. Jorginho. Leandro Trossard to play in the midfield again. I mean, we are so out of options and short in midfield that it's shocking how good we've actually been with injuries and everything. And with Declan Rice playing some world-class football since he came to the club, he runs and covers so much ground that he honestly counts as if you had two players in the middle. That's how good he's been. So yeah, I don't think we should be relaxing this January. Because like I said, 1 or 2 major injuries and it's done. It's done. I can forget about football and wait for the new Formula 1 season to begin. Edu Gaspar, the winter is coming. Do your work. Don't mess it up. This January will be absolutely crucial for us. And on that note, let's move to the comments to hear what are your thoughts on this whole Victor Osimhen situation. Alexis says, the sign of seriousness. If we get him on board with Arteta, this team would be untouchable. Strong at the back, middle and front area. I agree. If we sign Osimhen, it's game over. We definitely have that second alongside Declan Rice and I guess we could count William Saliba in that bracket also. Top world-class talent at our club. Emozi says, this is my dream signing for Arsenal. Kurt says, 2 years ago I had said that Rice was my dream signing, mostly because I thought it was possible. I never once thought deals like this were possible, but I am here for it. Givior says, if we achieve this signing, then we are gonna be a force to be reckoned with. Endu says, Arsenal needs Osimhen more than Osimhen needs Arsenal. He'll be a great signing. D. Mensa says, would be a great signing. Question, will he fit our style of play though? I think he absolutely would fit our style of play. We need a different striker than Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah. I mean, I love them both, but we need that striker who can create chances on his own, who can shot from that impossible angle, who can grab the game by its neck and just score a goal when we need him the most. James Rutherford says, if he is the real deal, I don't know, I don't watch Napoli games. Arsenal simply have to attempt to sign him, even for 120 mil. We desperately need a striker of his level and stature. It would take us from contenders to winners. 2-back sugar, if Osimhen is 112 million pounds and Brentford want 100 million pounds for Ivan Toney, I'll take Osimhen please. I have nothing against Ivan Toney. I think Ivan Toney is a brilliant player, but if 10 plus million is the difference, then yeah, obviously. Younger, better, more potential, I'll take Osimhen. Tasosk says, that's all well and good, but the issue I have with this is that we can't get him in January. No chance that's what happen and we need a striker in January, mid-season so we can take the title race to the very end. No point waiting in the summer to get Osimhen and not buying a quality goal scorer in January, like Tony, who is available and therefore leading to not winning anything this season again when we need to. The truth is, we need a striker this January, because like I said, if Gabriel Jesus, already Nketiah get injured, we are done. So we still need to sign some striker in January. Is it some, I don't know, I don't even know who is on the market that would be a good option currently. Maybe someone on loan, 6 months loan. I don't know. You tell me. Giot Alex says Mbappe, Osimhen, and Saka. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, mate. But I appreciate the optimism. Simon Belmont says, I hate to be that guy, but as much as I love seeing this, it's most likely not going to happen. However, if it does happen, I will actually start having faith in the crankies again. VMB says, would be a good signing. Means Jesus would go wide, just not sure how he would fit all those attackers in and keep our star boys happy. Mike Harris Passat says, just go and get him and Tony at the same time. If Arsenal want to be serious about winning, they need a quality strike force. They can make sacrifices by selling some of the fringe players. Otherwise, this year will be like the last few years, having few months of good form and then collapsing to pressure when Liverpool and City push on. Look, I just don't think that's realistic. If we sign Osimhen, we are not going to sign Tony. And if we sign Tony, I don't think we are going to sign Osimhen. So I just I don't believe that we are capable of signing both of them. Chris Gray says he should come to Columbus Crew. Ramat says his physique is a little down a bit than last year, but if Arsenal can loan him at January and buy him next summer as Odegaard, that will be a great bargain. Ripped Zach says there's no way Arsenal gonna make another signing of over 100 million. Come on now, don't pretend like y'all don't know that already. Look, we said the same thing, we were talking about the same thing before Arsenal signed Declan Rice. There's no way Arsenal will pay 100 million pounds for Declan Rice. It is Arsenal Football Club we're talking about. There's absolutely no way that will happen. And here we are, a few months later, Declan Rice is here at Arsenal, and he's been our best player so far this season. So, who knows? Things are changing at Arsenal. Things are changing with Josh Kroenke. I don't know. Let's wait and see. Jag Maresi says, that amount of money for a less technical Adebayor who can only play like 25 games a season. Pass. And Gunnar Ooze says, sketchy source, don't believe it at all. Look, I don't know if I've mentioned this in this video. No, I didn't. But I wanted to talk a bit about the Italian sources connecting players to Arsenal. In the past, in the last, 4, 5, 6 years, all these Italian journalists that are putting out stories about Arsenal, their success rate has been shocking. I swear, I've not seen one Italian journalist in the last 10 years that has put out a story connecting Arsenal to some player and that it's turned out to be true. So, I get your skepticism, but this is different. This is different because we're talking about Victor Osimhen, and British media are reporting about it. European media all around Europe are reporting about it. So, we all knew this is going to happen. We all knew Arsenal were interested in signing Osimhen. So, I don't know. Let's wait and see what will happen. And that is it for this video. So, goodness, tell me, what are your thoughts on this current Victor Osimhen news that are circling around social media? Do you think it's possible that Arsenal could sign Victor Osimhen next summer? Write down in the comments. Also off topic, but I've just seen the Manchester City Crystal Palace result and I'm even more angry now that we lost to Aston Villa last week. But it is what it is. Liverpool is our target now. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. And good news, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.